I'm not sure if I am a co-host.
Oh, okay. Thank you for reminding me. Yep. Okay, let me just. Um,
I'm not sure if I am a co-host.
yeah.
Is it repeating what I said? I heard myself.
Sorry, that was me. I just live streamed it to YouTube, so it was repeating back what was on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So you should be a host now. I think.
Yes, yep. I'm actually the host. I'm not sure if you want if host is fine or co-host.
Let me see. How I do that. Not sure how I do this. Give me a sec. I'm not actually sure how to change it right now, but we'll just play as we go along.
Okay. I think I can play around it and
Okay.
and maybe make you the host, but at least I am admitting people here. Oh wow, I have people coming in.
Everyone, just we'll be starting right on time at 7 o'clock. We're just getting some things together in the background, so please stand by. Okay, I just texted Walter to make sure they had the link. So. Okay, I'm unmuted.
I think I clicked on you by accident to ask to unmute, but I'm gonna make you the host. Do you want to change the host to Boston REIA? Yes, so you will be the host now.
Yeah,
And
okay,
if you
we'll do
want,
that. I'm just trying to figure out how to make everybody else host you a host. Do you see that on your side?
yeah, so if you go to, if you like click on your picture, you're gonna find the mute and then you're gonna find three dots. Click on the three dots and just make me a co-host. If you drop down, you're gonna find a co-host, middle of the road. And I think also there was someone on the waiting room. As I clicked you as a host, I saw the thing, so you might wanna admit them on. Oh, I think they are on. Yep. Awesome.
Hey, everyone, we'll be starting shortly. We're just waiting for our host to join us and get some technical things worked out here in the background. We'll start right on time in another 5 minutes. Thank you. Hey, everyone, you are in the right place at the right time with Boston REIA. We will be starting shortly. Just waiting right promptly at 7 o'clock. We'll be starting.
Duncan, I see we're live streaming on YouTube. This is cool.
I tried to get us on Facebook, but I had an issue there. So I'm going to make you the host right now. I just got to get you. Go.
Awesome.
Sorry, I'm just technology, just getting us sorted out here. Give me a sec here. All right.
Absolutely. While Duncan is getting ready.
All right, you have control.
And I've got control. Let's give Duncan a round of applause.
All right.
All right. We've made it through another month.
All right. So you have the presentation that I can stop sharing my screen?
Yes, I do. Yes,
Guys,
I do.
let's remember to record.
Boom. Hitting record. Oh, we're already going. Awesome job, Duncan.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for the reminder, Kelly. Let's
I
give Kelly
have-
Weirman a round of applause. Awesome. Kelly, explain the triangle. What do you got there? Oh, you were muted. Still muted.
Okay, my screen is stopped sharing now, Walter. So your thing. So yeah, we have Al on. He's a co-host already too. So I'm going to let you rock and roll, and maybe you can share about, while you're going through the first half hour, share a little bit about the event in Orlando, because that was wow. From the snippets I caught, that was crazy, wild, good attendance and a lot of energy in the room there. So maybe upload some pictures to the meetup so people can see for next year what they missed.
Yeah, I think the rest of this year we're gonna fill the room with FOMO. We'll let everybody know about how awesome it was, what's coming. Hands to the camera if you're a real estate investor, like to buy more real estate this year. All right, all right. Hands to the camera if you're a wholesaler. If you are wholesaling real estate for other people. Excellent. All right, Carrie, we got you. What about real estate agents? Do we have any real estate agents in the room? Licensed real estate agents, Pauline, awesome, excellent, very cool. And if you are currently on the call and you don't have your camera on, just so you know, this is a very interactive call, and the people who aren't seen aren't being able to, well, I guess you might miss out on some deals. So putting your camera on, being seen, it's kind of important in real estate to be recognized, be recognizable. People do deals with the people that they know, like, and trust. So if they don't know you, well, that's the beginning of the game. If they don't like you, nothing I can do about that. And if they don't trust you, well, just be more honest and do more deals. So hands to the camera if you're here to do more deals. If you like to be more successful this year, make more money. Yes. Awesome. Do it with less time, less work, less effort. All right. Well, we're all like-minded then. We're a bunch of crazy people who want to do less and make more. That's why we're in real estate.
Twice a year, the 22nd of February and October.
Unmute.
Hey, Walter, there we go. We lost your, I muted. People
I
are coming
saw
in
that.
too fast here. We need to mute everybody else for the meantime. So I'm just going to mute. I'm going to mute all and then unmute you.
Mute all and I'll unmute myself. Yep. Perfect.
Okay.
Awesome. One more time. Let's give Duncan Weirman a round of applause. Thank you for turning your cameras on. I see a lot more faces, which makes this a whole lot more fun for me. So definitely keep your mics muted. But if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. We're going to be going through questions at the end of the night. And George White, I see one of my students from the mentorship. Let's give George a round of applause. Good to see you, my man. Awesome. Excellent. All right, so let's get going through this PowerPoint. I want to make sure that everyone can see my screen. So in just a second, let me know if you see it. We're going to go hit. Let's see. We're in November, so it's the November meeting. And while I'm doing that, let's drop some questions in the chat. What's stopping you from making more money this year in real estate? Is it deals? Is it knowing where to go? But let's share what's stopping you, what's holding you back. Real estate is still working. We're still buying property. We've bought, I want to say 2 this year. We just flipped one. We made 100. Actually, we made 87,000 off of our first flip of the year.
Beautiful.
And we just acquired another one. So drop your questions in the chat. And we will make sure that if there's anybody who has a question that's stopping them, like that's top priority for me, I'll run through those really quickly and make sure we get those answers. And let me see if now I can get this screen share going. Does everybody see my screen? Excellent, excellent. So we're back in the game. All right, so the Boston REIA is all about moving you forward. We've been the Real Estate Investor Association for a very long time. Over 20 years is nationwide. And then Boston REIA, I forget to ask this, Duncan, how long have you been doing the Boston REIA?
I think 6 years now.
Over 6 years.
Mhm.
And for
7 years. 7 years.
7
sorry.
years. So the whole point in a REIA is to get 2 things. Well, 3 things. Well, it is 2 main things. So first one is real world knowledge. And you might want to write these down because this is the keys to success as well. The first one you want is real world knowledge. And the second reason you go to REIAs is the network. You go for people who have deals, people who have money, people who have just knowledge that they can use as well, and accountability. So the people that you'll meet at the REIA are going to hold you accountable. They're going to become partners, or they may just be mentors or friends. So REIAs have been around for 20 years. The Boston REIA has been around for 7, and it's created so many deals. In fact, one of the things I talk about often is the time I made $1.5 million from standing on stage at the Boston REIA, just from saying, hey, I am buying these condos. Who'd like to help me with this deal? Hands to the camera if you recognize the value in the room. I raised $300,000 that night. Yes. And the interesting thing is that I was at another REIA on the South Coast. It was an hour away. And I said, I'm looking to buy, I was also speaking that night. And I said, I'm looking to buy more real estate. Who has a deal for me? And it was ironically 2 months earlier that somebody stood up and said, I got 24 units. It looks like they're selling for about 800,000 and they're probably worth maybe 2 million. Turns out they were worth 2.5 million. Who thinks that's a cool story? Being at the national REIAs really, really was impactful for that particular deal. Would not have happened without it. Excellent. So I want to say welcome to all of our members. Welcome to all of our guests. Let's give our members a round of applause. These are people who get a little bit extra. They've paid, and so they get access to benefits and all sorts of extra free events and trainings and some free calls that we do. So definitely want to celebrate our members for being here, supporting us. If it wasn't for you being members, we wouldn't be able to put this event on every single month, and we wouldn't be able to get the speakers that we bring every single month. So our members, it means a lot to us that you've donated and dedicated your time and your finances to us as well. For our new members, hands to the camera if you've never been to the Boston REIA. Again, hands to the camera if you're new to us. Awesome, awesome. Kevin, Paulo, Brandon, let's give them a round of applause. Seeking out knowledge, seeking out networking and relationships. I think the reason that people always come here when they're from Boston is because Bigger Pockets sent them along. They said, hey, go get to a REIA.
Yes, good.
You guys from Bigger Pockets on BP?
Yes.
Awesome. Excellent. So I was the same way. And I came from Bigger Pockets, eventually found the REIAs, and I learned quite a bit because this is the place to do your deals. But since we are talking about doing deals and partnerships, I do have to mention our liability disclosure. I will read it out loud. You can take pictures. The Boston REIA assumes no liability or responsibility for the outcomes of any real estate transaction, decision, or other action that any Boston REIA member or visitor enter into as the result of attending any meeting, listening to any guest speaker, or talking to any Boston REIA member, guest, visitor, or persons. Please understand that we are not we are, okay. The Boston REIA is always looking out for your best interests, but we can't control everybody else. We also can't control how information is perceived. If a person comes in and talks to you about buying a house with no money down, and that strategy doesn't necessarily work for you personally, unless you've had a conversation with me or Duncan or Kelly, we don't know what's going on. Hence the camera if we recognize that that's true. And even then, look, I'm a coach. I've been mentoring for a long time. Even then, it is possible to make a mistake, although at this point, I'm pretty damn good at making sure I ask the right questions. But even then, I still say, look, it's at your own risk to take any advice from anybody. I was talking about some benefits. Here's a benefit of being a large association. We get partnerships that offer discounts to our members. Who likes discounts? Who likes saving money for being part of something they would be a part of anyway? Awesome. Some smart people. To be part of the Boston REIA, you must, the most active real estate investing association in the world, you have to see the vision. So we're number one in deal flow and networking and education and investor resources. This was the intention when Duncan and Kelly set it up, and it's the intention we continue to move forward through. So let's give our founders a round of applause. Thank you for having such a bright vision, clear vision for the community in Boston. Here are some of our local partners. Sometimes our local partners are on calls. These are lenders and who's heard of hard money? Anybody heard of hard money before? Yeah, my favorite people. They're not as bad as they sound. In fact, hard money is how we deal most of our flips. We wouldn't do a flip with our own cash. It's silly. So we use hard money, and sometimes we even use private money to bridge the gap on our loans so we can be into a flip with no money. In fact, the one we just took down is we're into it, no money down. We picked it up for $220,000, and we're going to flip it, probably do almost nothing. I guess just got the text back from our maintenance guy. He cleaned out the house, and I was going to put it back on the market. Who's heard of wholetailing before? Wholetailing? All right. So for anybody who hasn't heard of it, wholetailing is when you buy a property, just do a clean out, sweep it up, clean it up, throw away all the garbage, which there was a lot of garbage, cut the grass, and then put it right back on the market. This is essentially what the iBuyers do, what Zillow does, what Zillow, BlackRock, like the big companies that are buying all the houses. This is what they do. They just wholesale, they buy it, put it right back on the market. Very rarely will they go into a full renovation. And it's been effective for us as well. Do we have one of our vendors on the call, Kelly? Do we have JM or Universal Capital? Or Monteverde? I think Monteverde was there last week.
Duncan.
I don't think so, but underneath in the members area, all their information and what they're offering and their rates is there. So, I just, people log into that and see what the current deals are because money is extremely cheap right now.
And JM Capital couldn't make it tonight. They had a conflict of interest with another meeting. So next time, next month.
Awesome. Well, since our vendors aren't here, we're still going to give them a round of applause. Let's give our capital vendors a round of applause. Again, Boston REIA members, remember to go in, check the rates. They are getting, like Duncan said, much more affordable. Money is cheap right now. There's a lot of it circulating around. These guys are they just need to slam into some loans. So if you're looking to invest with hard money, which again, not financial advice, like I talked about earlier, the liability, I'm just telling you stories of what I'm doing. So you choose to do what you do. Does that make sense? Excellent. So not suggesting hard money to anybody, not suggesting any particular lender to anybody. All I am saying is that I use hard money on my deals. We are looking to go live again. So once we go live, we're going to need some amazing people to help set up chairs, help set up sound. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in doing, we are currently looking for volunteers. You don't have to raise your hand, but if you can shoot Kelly a text at 564-906-4111. Let me share a quick story. That's how I ended up doing all of this hosting. That's how I ended up getting my deals, is I started off as a volunteer. I was supporting the REIA. I showed up. Even though I was a public speaker in Fall River and across the country, I was humble enough and I said, you know what, I'm just going to help out. I'm going to volunteer. I showed up an hour early. I would leave an hour late. And eventually there was an opportunity where I was told, hey, would you like to jump on stage? You seem comfortable with the mic. And that's how I ended up starting with hosting the Boston REIA. Hence the camera, if that's where you got to start, right? You start at the bottom, you volunteer, you pay it forward, and eventually you get some opportunities. Our volunteers get a ton of opportunities. They get to hang out with me. They get to hang out with Sarah. They get some personal calls with Duncan and Kelly. So there's a lot of opportunity just to get a higher level mentorship. Hence the camera, if you see the value in that. Yeah, that's it. If you want to get close to the people who know what they're talking about and or are running things, then it makes sense to volunteer at first. If you don't have the money for things, volunteer. Now, if you don't have the money for things, let me say this one. I bet you do. You just don't know how. Because I have not had the money and then suddenly had the money. In fact, I just hired a $32,000 coach to help me run the summit. And funny, money just shows up. When you're looking to do something serious money can show up for you. Newsflash, get your copy now. The Boston Real Estate Investors newsletter. Go to www.bostonrealestateinvestorsassociation.com. Our members are automatically logged into this, but you get access just for showing up. So click in and at least get the newsletter. I'm going to strongly suggest jumping into the membership anyway, but the newsletter is a really great place to get access to deals, get access to new information. There's so much going on in the market right now that if you're not getting access to the cutting edge, you may be taken advantage of down the road. Hands to the camera if you recognize information, knowledge is power. Yes. Awesome. We got a smart room tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause. We're clapping everybody off, but I think you deserve some support for being here. All right. Who else would be here on a Thursday night? We are also social. Social media is obviously the way of the future. There's a lot of information that goes out on our social network. And it's a great place to share some of your information, share some deals that you've got. It's also a great place to just connect with people. So if there's somebody in the room that has some value, you see them make a post, I would absolutely use a social platform in order to connect later on. Wholesalers, real estate agents, investors, this is a great opportunity to connect with deals, a great opportunity to connect with the right people. So there's also a ton of information, like I said, that gets dropped out there often, including some of the stuff that I'm putting out every week. And Duncan does as well. Hands to the camera if you are new to real estate investing. If you're new, never done a deal before, looking to do some deals, awesome, awesome. So we want to help you create an opportunity. So we're going to do a little bit of virtual networking right now. So drop in the chat what kind of deals you're looking for, or drop your experience. If you're somebody who has experience, drop your experience or how you can help somebody out. And if you're not experienced, then just drop in what you're looking for. If you don't even know what to look for, you could put that into. And this is just drop it in the chat. This way we can help support you. While you are dropping that information in the chat, let me share. Actually, who would be interested in learning what the membership costs, what the membership includes, what it's about? All right, all right. So then I will grace you with a little bit of knowledge. The All-Star membership includes free entrance to the monthly main events, which are starting in January. Duncan, I believe they're January.
Yep.
So in January, we're going back live. So you know what that costs. It's $30 at the door, whereas these are free online. These are free because they don't cost us much, but the live events do cost us. We're renting a hotel. There is a speaker that flies in. So there's a little bit more cost to doing these events. And so there's a charge for doing these events. When you remember, you get free access at all the monthly events for a year. You get free entrance to our subgroup meetings every Saturday at 10 a.m. I do the 52 wealth principles, 52 weeks to wealth. We also have some other subgroups that come out. We have the the wholesaling boot camp on Mondays at 5 p.m. This is where all of our wholesalers come in. They hash out different ideas, show some of their strategies. It is a great opportunity and it's free to everybody who is a member. We do it every Monday night. I speak, I teach one of the strategies for sales, for negotiating, for finding more deals, for finding off-market deals, and connecting with other people in the business. Hands to the camera if you know that alone is worth it. That alone is a valuable asset. Yes, it is true. George White's one of our members, so he's very familiar with how it works. And we also get exclusive membership benefits and the 2% rebate program at Home Depot. I know 2% doesn't seem like a lot until
I will send you
I hear your voice.
a quick.
2% doesn't sound like a lot until you start doing a lot of deals. And we saved about $1,500 at Home Depot last year, thanks to our national REIA membership, which is awesome. More than paid for the membership 5 times over. So then there's the discounted workshops, which we do. When a speaker sometimes comes through, because they have the connection with the national REIA, they'll actually do workshops afterwards that are a little bit longer, more intensive, deep into their niche. And when you have those workshops, it's nice to get a little discount. Again, the Boston REIA saves money there. And more. Learn the sport, be a player, join tonight. And if you are interested in joining, which I would strongly suggest, this is the only suggestion I'll make that is not financial advice again, but I strongly suggest it, is send a text over to Kelly and ask her for how to join the membership, how to get into the membership for each one of these each month. Now, I want to hand it over to the great Sarah Ibram. Sarah, do you want me to run it on my screen or do you want me to switch control over to you?
I'll get the control.
Excellent.
Here. Thank you.
Then they are all yours. Let's give Sarah Ibram a round of applause. She's the queen of Home Depot and discounts. So she gives us some really cool information on how you can take advantage of these Home Depot discounts using your National REIA membership.
All right. Hi, everyone. Let me just start here. Are you able to see my screen? Yes.
It's about to. It's not
yet.
Hasn't committed yet.
Okay. Now?
It still says Sarah Ibram has started. There we go. Yep, got it.
Oh, okay, good. Hi, everyone. One of the great benefits that Boston REIA offers to our members is Home Depot Pro Extra rewards program. Basically, Boston REIA has a deal with Home Depot where we give our members more discounts than if they would just like go directly to Home Depot Pro Extra and sign up for their rewards. Our members get 2% rebate by anyway, just like Walter was just saying, on all the purchases you make with a minimum spend of $5,000 per period. So Home Depot has a set period, rebate period, starts from January 1st until June 30th, and then it starts again from July 1st until December 31st. If to get the 2% minimum rebate, you need to spend $5,000 per the whole 6 months, which is less than $1,000 a month. And after the period closes, within 60 days, you receive a Home Depot gift card in the mail. So always just make sure that your mailing address is updated with Home Depot. Also, Boston REIA members start at the gold tier, which qualifies them for 20% off paint without meeting the $5,000 rebate minimum. And normally, if you would just like go directly to Home Depot Pro Extra and just join the rewards program there, you'll need to spend $6,500 to get to the gold tier. You don't have to do that. You just start at the gold tier. You get the 20% right at the checkout. Basically, you just at the checkout enter your phone number at the registered phone number at the PIN pad before you swipe your card. And if you swipe your card using a registered credit card, that's when you accumulate the rebate, the $5,000 rebate. So you get the 20% at the checkout, and then you get the 2% at the end of the 6 months. And the great thing about that is that you can track all your purchases for up to 24 months. The 20% of paint is applicable to paint stains and primer of a gallon or more. It's not applicable to quartz or spray. Also, Boston REIA members can get up to 20% of select Hampton Bay kitchen and bath cabinets if purchase 10 or more cabinets in a single transaction. So you get a 10% from National REIA and a 10% from Home Depot, and both coupons are stackable with the store discounts. And again, always every time when you pay with a registered card, you get the 2%. That's the rebate for the whole period, but the 20% of paint or the cabinets is basically at the checkout. Also, another great program that's offered is volume pricing program, VPP or bid room. If you have a list of larger items that's gonna cost $1,500 or more in a single transaction, bring that list to the Pro Desk, have them prepare a quote, and ask them to send it to the bid room. This process takes just a few minutes. And it's just going to come back to you with all the applied discounts. It's really varies anywhere from 0 to 15%. And that's what you get at the checkout. And if you pay with a registered card, you get the 2%, at the end of the minimum of the 6 months rebate period. It's pretty cool. Basically, if you're not so convinced of these great discounts that Home Depot offers to our members, maybe numbers can speak louder. In the last 6 months, Home Depot paid out to chapter members more than $500,000 with an average rebate about $1,600 per member. That's probably worth of like 5 years of the Boston REIA membership. So in 6 months, in one Home Depot period, you can just get, pretty much covered like several years to come of membership. So on top of the great benefits and the great education, you get pretty much free membership. If you'd like to become a member, or if you want to verify if your membership is still active or expired, please give Kelly a call or text 864-906-4111. Thank you so much.
Let's give Sarah a round of applause. Awesome job. Awesome explanation of the benefits from Home Depot. There's also other benefits that we get. We have printing and supply discounts at Office Depot, which was huge and tremendous for us when we went in to do our deal at the summit. We had a lot of pamphlets, a lot of paper to print, and we used the Office Depot discount. So even though it wasn't real estate related, we still got to use a discount for our event. So super valuable. You can use it in your business. It doesn't have to be your real estate business. As long as you're using the Boston REIA discount, you're going to make some money here. So very cool opportunity. Here are some other vendors that we've done some deals with that offer discounts. Again, you might want to screenshot this one. These are everyday everyday businesses that we use in the real estate world and arena. So you may even use it if it's not business, not real estate. Look at Constant Contact on there, Equity Trust, again, Office Max. There's a couple of different businesses that are just going to be valuable to you as an entrepreneur. Build a sign, and obviously build your network. So I see there's a lot of people in the chat leveraging it. If you haven't already dropped what you're looking for in the chat or what service you provide, this is a great opportunity to find the right people. And as a reminder, the money's made in the room. It's the value of this network that keeps us doing this each month. It's the people in the room who have the deals, people in the room who have the money, have the resources, have the skills. So definitely use the chat, definitely leverage that, build some connections, build some relationships. I know it's easier in person, which is why we're going back to in person in January. But while we're here, you might as well make some money, might as well make some connections. Hands to the camera if you recognize we're better than the virtual world. We can figure this out. It's going to be nice and easy. Yes. All right. So build those connections, build those relationships in the chat. That's what it's for. The membership is only yearly, $280. So we just showed you, I think, $3,000 or $4,000 worth of savings if you leverage it properly. And just the savings of not having to pay the $30 at the door is the reason I bought it in the first place. I like to just be able to walk in and show my badge and not have to do anything. So, but there's a lot of other benefits, obviously, which we showed you. Reach out to Kelly. Her phone number is, and text, please, do not call, text only. 864-906-4111. You can actually text her now while we're going through the rest of this meeting and just ask her, hey, how do I get the membership? I want to sign up now. Now is the time to do it because the live events start in January. So we want to make sure that you jump into the membership ASAP before you get there. This way you don't have to pay full price. And again, rules. Please drop in your haves, wants, and needs. Haves, wants, and needs. This is how networking is done. But please requests must be specific. Limit requests to 1 per minute. And request must include contact information. No advertisements, please. This is going to be for the live events once we get back to those. And Duncan asked me to share a little bit about the 100 Millionaires Summit. Who would be interested in seeing some videos, some pictures from that event? Yes? Awesome. 100 millionaires, don't be intimidated by it. This was just something that came to me as we were investing over the years and building people up, that if you could build millionaires, why wouldn't you? Where are my real estate agents at again? Licensed agents? All right, so you transacting builds millionaires, right? Just keep doing enough. So let me stop the share, add some music. This may be a little bit loud, but I'm okay with it as long as you are. This was the event. We did it in Orlando, Florida, because that was where we were able to do live events, and the volume might be a little
Also, 1,000 people at your
one of
event.
those
That was
people-
amazing. Unbelievable.
Each one of those people at this event own real estate or are buying real estate, or are real estate agents, are lenders, are attorneys. Each one of them has a net worth that is, well, not each one of them, but each one of them has made the commitment to build a net worth of $1 million. But 20% of the room, there were over 120 people in the room, 20% were already millionaires. How cool is that, to be in a room where you can look around and they're legitimate millionaires and you can ask them questions? At the event, I also asked them, all the millionaires, if they would commit to teaching the people around them. If somebody called them, if they'd give up their phone number and share with somebody. This is something we do at the event. Who's heard of vision boarding, where you create a vision board? So we create our own vision boards for the people who are on their way to becoming millionaires. Actually, a couple of these people are already millionaires. They want the extra million. Who knows that this game doesn't stop for some people. It's my buddy Brian Mazzilli, and this is Melissa Baker, another. She's a real estate agent out of Rhode Island, and this is Kim Rodriguez. All three of these guys, millionaires already, but they came to the event to see if they can learn a little bit more about real estate, connect with other people. They recognize the value. This is Kim Harvey, again, another millionaire. And through real estate, she actually just locked down $5 million worth of real estate this year. She's not on the call, but let's give Kim a round of applause anyway. Damn impressive. So she's been working with us for 2 years now, coming to all of our events, doing all the stuff with us. This is Andrew. So Andrew's like the opposite, right? Didn't want to be a millionaire. He just wanted to have financial freedom. So he bought a house, flipped it, made 80 grand, bought a camper, and for the last year has been traveling all across the country. Who thinks that's a cool way to spend your money and time? Yeah, he's now built a YouTube channel, and he's doing affiliate marketing to pay for his wife, and his new baby's expenses. Here we are at the summit afterwards, cleaning it up, doing a live exercise with some of our people. This is my girlfriend, Darina. All my coaches, these guys are all millionaires back here. Some of our students, just awesome. So it was 3 days just looking at how do we get more real estate, more deals, more money, more capital. The 100 Millionaire Summit came out of, look, you don't have to be a millionaire, but let's commit to being millionaires. Hence the camera, if you can commit to becoming a millionaire, if you feel like that's something worth going after. Yes. Awesome. For some people, $1 million seems like a lot. I get it. It can be scary. It can be intimidating. What about your first $250,000? Who'd be interested in just banging out that first $250,000 in the next year? Awesome. So I wrote the book, Broke to a $250,000. And it's basically a simple process of how you do it, right? Just buy real estate effectively. And you can have $1 million if you do it the right way. So I've got a speaker I'm going to bring up, and I forgot to pull up his bio. I was looking at it yesterday. Give me 1 second. Actually, who'd be interested in getting the book for free instead of paying for it, right? When you don't have a $250,000, it's nice to just get some things for free. If you type in broketoa$250,000.com, just type in broketoa$250,000.com. I'll give you the book for free. naturally you're gonna have to pay for shipping. We all understand how that works. I'm not that nice. I'll give you the book, but I'm not going to pay for the shipping. Awesome. So you can go to broke2a quartermillion.com. Through that, there's a bunch of other free stuff that we do, that we send out. And it is all in association with the Boston REIA. So thank you for this opportunity on stage. Thank you for this opportunity to share what we've done. I couldn't build millionaires if it wasn't for having a platform like this. It takes people who are willing to learn. It takes people who are looking for accountability and ongoing support. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but the mission to build 100 millionaires is not just, it doesn't stop there. It's a mission to build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. So who knows, once you get yours, you're willing to pay it forward and help others get theirs. Awesome. Awesome. A lot of good people in the room. It does take time. For some people, it can take 3 to 5 years. And if you're still in that beginnings phase of getting started, of going, it's all right. Don't worry. It took me 4 years to get to my first $1 million. But I'm telling you, it was worth it. It was a lot of work. And if I had the right mentors, I would have done it a lot faster, which is why we still teach, and I made the commitment. I said it back then because I was down. I won't tell you the story right now. It's in the book. But I was down and I said, man, like, God, just if you help me get through this, if you help me, because I was at the bottom, if you help me get through this, I swear I will teach as many people as possible. Like, just give me a chance, just show me the way, like put the right people in my place, like put the right information, the right deals in my place. And I committed to spending the rest of my life teaching and coaching if I could just figure it out myself. I promise a life of servitude to do that. And it's fun. I'll be honest, it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done. But like, that's why I do it. I think that if you make money and you become successful, you should pay it forward. Hands to the camera if you recognize like that's a really good way to spend the rest of your life. Absolutely. Here's the side effect. I make a whole lot of money. Man, it's ridiculous. I get access to all the deals. I get access to all the money. I get access to all the best relationships because I'm teaching and I'm training them as they become millionaires. Who do you think they're going to partner with? The person who helped them start out. So it's a great opportunity. If you're considering becoming rich, just think of it that way. One day you're going to be rich, you'll be able to teach others. So the person I'm going to bring on is someone who has he's taken 2 engineering degrees. He's repairing the San Francisco Bridge. He has 22 years of landlording experience. For Al Williamson to become the world's first landlord scientist, and now is using his engineering skills to help investors like you to make more money. You all said you wanted to make more money and spend less time doing it, right? All right, so hang on, here we go. Al is best known for publicity optimizing his 8-unit apartment complex to the point where it replaced his salary and gave him financial freedom. Known as the father of extended stay the Airbnb industry, Al has taught thousands of people how to optimize their net incomes by focusing on longer than 30-day stays. Al now spends his days growing his corporate housing company in Sacramento, California, where he lives with his wife and 2 daughters. Please help me give a welcome. Please help me welcome the world's first landlord scientist, Al Williamson. Let's give him a round of applause.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Walter, you have a cool name. I was trying to figure out how to say that, but that's so cool. Let me see if I can share my screen. I am pretty excited to be with you guys. I've been waiting for a while to share my screen with you and maybe one day meet you in person. Let's see if I can F5 here.
Hey, Al, this is Duncan. While you're getting that ready, just want to reiterate that Al is giving some great giveaways away. Those will be given away in the chat at the end of the call, along with a very, very special offer. So be prepared and stay on the call to the very end, and I will post that. And again, Al, thank you very much for your valuable time to share this, because, I originally taught Airbnb when it first came out, and then everybody became an Airbnb expert you see on TikTok, and they all think they're the thing. And then the laws started coming into effect, and you figured it out how to get around a lot of these laws and coexist with them and bring on a whole lot of secrets, especially for the Boston market. So we have a lot of people waiting to hear, so I'll shut up now, but thank you again. And I'll be posting that at the call at the end.
Right on, right on. What's going on, Boston? I got some great news for you guys that extended stay extended stay longer than 30 days are a record high. So this is a good time to be talking about this in Boston. But before I dive into all this and start showing you what is up, I want to show you some profits so you can see kind of what to expect when you get involved. This is that 8-unit apartment complex that you're hearing about. It's my laboratory, so to speak. And I had to come up with $100,000 to buy it, and it was in bad shape. But the great news is now that it produces $8,858 each and every month, and that was enough for me to leave my engineering job and cover my expenses and take care of the family. So that's what it did off of one property, optimizing it, gave me some other income streams. But I went on to, because I'm a housing entrepreneur, I went on and I talked to the owner of this building and just got him to agree to let me rent one of his units. I didn't have to come up with a down payment. I didn't have to skip lunch. I didn't have to skip vacations. I just talked to him, and that unit brings $832 each month, which is really cool. And I did the same thing. It's just a conversation with a burnt out landlord here and talking to them about, I was going to bring business travelers to town, and this place brings $887 a month. And I kept going. I don't have to skip lunch, no down payment, just talk to the folks and tell them about the cool people that need a place to stay. And this brings in $728 a month. Here we go, $862 a month. This is my worst performer, $470 per month. And my best performer, $1,643 a month. Again, I don't own these properties here. These are all just a handshake or a joint venture or some type of lease agreement in place. Now, people start asking me, what are you doing, Al? That sounds cool. And I started coaching folks. And here's Derek. He's also in Sacramento. He got this little upstairs place, and it brings in $522 a month. And he takes that and just dedicates it to his credit cards. He's a science teacher at high school during the day, and he takes this extra chunk and just wants to be debt free. And here's Rochelle. She's in Reno, Nevada, and she doesn't own this little cottage, but it brings her $900 a month, and she's able to do some cool things, keep some promises with that money. And here's Tim in Wisconsin. He is, I started coaching him the last time I was traveling before COVID. He's the last person I coached in person. About 30 days after starting, he started making $1,000 a month in Appleton. So that's what you're up for. I want to show you some new value added hacks. So whether you own property or not, it's going to really help you out, help you make some extra net income. And the secret that's inside the Monopoly game that you kind of have to unpack. And once you see it, then you're never going to be able to not see it again. And it's going to make you a lot of money. And then how do you get started with absolutely no down payment? So whether if you don't have money, it's fine. And you don't have to take out a bank loan, and you don't really need any experience at all, because this is not landlording. It's something different. All right. Now, we're all talking about Airbnb, and I promised you some Airbnb secrets, but this is going to be much bigger than that. Are you guys okay with that if I talk about something much, much larger? Okay, because Airbnb is a great planet in the solar system. There's a big, big solar system out there, and I want to show you guys how to get into it. Now, my favorite way of bringing in clients to fill my places is through Google, because Google gives 95% of the internet traffic, so you cannot ignore it. And then I bring them through my company website to a conversation with myself or my team. And then we give them a Google site, which is a brochure about what we want them to pick. And then we do an intake process. So that's how we do it, all independent of Airbnb. Airbnb is great, but this way is a lot more profitable. So I'm typically up on stage. I'm not as handsome as Walter, but I don't have that great microphone, but I'm trying it and doing my thing. My thing is talking to people about ways to increase their net income by increasing their income or revenue, or reducing their expenses through using technologies. So
Al, I gotta say though, you look great on the camera, man. You got that nice shiny head, brother. My shiny brother.
Thank you, man. So there I am, way out there. I wrote this book called 40 Ways to Increase the Net Income of Your Rental Property, because regular landlording was not working for me. The maintenance costs kept sideswiping me. I'm like, doggone it, I just made a little money and maintenance comes and swipe it away. And so I started an exhaustive 5-year search, compiling all the ways a landlord can increase their net income. And after I wrote the book, and after I had found other ways to pay for my mortgage besides tenant rents, I was driving to work in my company truck, and I had a moment of clarity, and then it's like, oh gosh, I pulled over on the freeway just to kind of unpack everything. And I realized that the reason I was able to make extra money and this was working finally is because I switched what I was doing, and then I started stacking things together, stacking things. I switched from being a regular landlord in the rental market, and I switched to the hospitality industry. And because there's more money to be made with the same property if you switch how you operate your rentals. And that extra money, the difference between those two, is what you can take to improve your lifestyle, to fill your retirement, all those types of things. It gives you time freedom. It's all there available to you guys, as long as there's an imbalance. If it costs more to stay at a hotel for 30 days than a rental for 30 days, then you guys are all financially free. If that's true, then you guys have plenty of money. Let's talk about how to get it, how to access it, okay? So I'm in Sacramento, California. I have 28 units altogether that I'm responsible for managing. This is my company called Easy Corporate Housing. I own just a few of them. A lot of them are joint ventures, partnerships, some with my sister and brother, and some with my partner. So that's how we do it. I've trained thousands of people how to do the exact same thing, how to set up a corporate housing company since 2014. So I've been at this for a minute. But it wasn't always so easy. And, I have a similar story to Walter. I was a civil engineer and I was doing well. I had some high profile projects. I was in charge of some big projects that had a lot of politics with it. Like Alcatraz, I put solar panels on Alcatraz, made the whole thing a energy self-sustaining island, and also a lot of work in Yosemite, beautiful places. So that was great, but all the paperwork and the repetitiveness of the bureaucracy, I could not stand. I'm not a person to do things over and over again. Now with these high profile projects comes a lot of stress, and that's why I found myself, I was commuting as a resident engineer, means I need to be on site. I was away from the family a lot, 1.5, 2-hour commutes one way. And I was stress eating. Now, contractors can be very straightforward and they can be cruel. So my full name is Albert, and I was getting fat, and I was being called Fat Albert at work. And that's my all-time low, and it was true. That's the worst thing. So I was just kind of really feeling complete failure that part of my life. And also at home as a father, I didn't have time with my daughter. I don't even remember having a game with her or anything like that. It was just, I was just working, and I was going the wrong direction. And then that's what made me rethink how I was doing my rentals, especially when my wife asked me why we couldn't go on vacation. She said, we have all these rentals. We got a gripper rentals. Why can't we go on vacation? And I had to confess, I was using my engineering salary to help pay for those rentals. So I'm like, there's something wrong, completely wrong. And that's why I started experimenting, and I started experimenting with Airbnb back in 2015. I set aside one of my units. I did the whole experiment with it, and it was cool. My revenue went up 3 times, but I was living with a sense of panic. These short stays weren't for me. I got a longer booking request. I tried that out. I compared the numbers, and it was about the same net income, not the revenue, but after all said and done, after the insurance, the taxes, the cleaning, paying for my time, it was about the same. Then I got 3-month booking, and I'm like, my God, my 3-month booking had a higher net income than the 3 times per month. And I'm like, this is all I'm going to do. And that's kind of what I set myself up for. And I started scaling the business and left the job from there. Now, I'm sharing that with you because so you know that this short-term rental gig is not just a little hobby for me. It's not like a little pastime. It has completely changed my life. It's finally made my real estate work. To give me the extra income, allows me to practice spelling words as I'm driving my daughter to school and picking her up, being there for first kisses, all those types of things. I'm around now. So that's what I want to share with you guys. That's why I'm here, is that so that you guys would have the same access to the thing that changed my life. I want to share with you. So let me get back to it. Get back to sharing my screen from current slide. Okay, let me bring you up to speed here. So 2020 just happened to us. Thank God it's over, but it completely wiped out the Airbnb industry except for extended stays. It's the only thing that left standing, okay? Only thing. In fact, there was headline after headline after headline. In fact, the CEO of Airbnb went on CNN pleading with people, if you want to stay in business, if you don't want to sell your furniture on the sidewalk, do extended stays. That's the only thing until travel comes back. That's the only thing. Okay, so that's where it was. I didn't have to argue the point anymore. And I stayed filled the entire time. I just documented on YouTube and whatnot. And I was in a spot where people were hurting and I was filled and making money. So I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to gloat. But now that's over. I can tell you guys about it. Because here's what's up, is that even when travel's restricted, there's still this ongoing demand for project work, emergency healthcare, and government contracts. Those keep going by essential workers. I think we all have heard of essential workers by now, okay? They're the real deal. They end up staying at these type of hotels. These are the national brands that have a kitchenette in that hotel. And these national brands are hoping that I keep my mouth shut. They don't want me to tell you about this because they can't compete against you guys, right? In your area, I was looking it up. You guys have some of these around, yeah? Have you guys driven past these in your town? All right, these are the ones in there. You got Extended Stay America, the largest of the national brands there. Why are they there? Because they're making money, because there's money to be made in Boston area. Residence Inn started the whole thing in the 70s. Homewood Suites by Hilton, that's kind of a higher end for the more lucrative C-suite folks. Home2 Suites just came out because Paris Hilton and all those guys were like, man, Airbnb is cleaning our clocks. We have to loosen our ties and get something a little more informal. So let's create Home2 Suites for a younger generation. So that's in your area too. And Homebridge Suites, which is budget conscious. So you guys got this whole range of high end to low end extended stay hotels in your area. And let's take a closer look at that. This is your area here. Let's see what you got. I gotta move here. I gotta move something out of my way here. You got 5 extended stay Americas, okay? And again, they're there because there's money to be made, clearly. And then you got 5 Hiltons. That's unusual, that they're all their Residence Inn by Marriott's there, another Hilton product, and Staybridge. Everyone's making money. Everyone was probably all completely filled during the pandemic. Here's Extended Stay America. They are a public, or they were a publicly traded company. And this is what happened in 2020. I'm moving my thing around here. President Trump called for a national emergency in March 2020. Travel came to a stop, all-time low in April, okay? Now hotels, they try to make sure that 80% or 8 out of every 10 rooms that they have is filled. They're happy with that. That means that they're not giving away too much profit. They're pricing it right. So that's what their goal is, 8 out of every 10. The worst case for Extended Stay America was 6 out of every 10. Other companies completely locked their doors and closed down completely. Extended Stay America just dropped down too and quickly recovered and went on to make $96 million in 2020. So much so that Blackstone, that hedge fund, that large group that buys up everything, went and bought them and took them private because it's so much upside on the extended stay model in the United States. But here's the problem, is there's money to be made, but people think that if they need to spend tens of thousands of dollars or take out a bank loan or do something that they can't do in order to make some big cash flow. And that simply, that's what I'm here to tell you. That is not true. And you need to know it, especially if you're low on the dough. You need to know this. It's not true. You guys have played Monopoly before. Everyone played Monopoly? Do I have to, can I get Walter to put his hand to the camera? He's played Monopoly. All right, all right. So all along, they've been teaching you this, trying to groom you for this time right now today, November 4th, because they showed it to you. They showed you that the cost to stay at an apartment, you know, for a house, the rent for a house is a lot less than hospitality industry. They've been showing you this all the time. Go from houses, get into the hospitality industry. We've been, every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, we've been told to get into the hospitality industry so you can win the game, okay? Now, if we were at a convention and we're at the bar, Kelly's buying his drinks and whatnot, and we're listening to these other general managers talk, they would be talking about, hey, you know, what I found is more profitable to house one person for 30 nights than to house 30 people in one night. I don't need no much wear and tear. I don't need so much staff. I don't have the overhead and all the HR problems. You know, we only need 11 people to run the whole joint, whereas regular hotels need 31 people. So get into the hospitality industry, then slide over to the most profitable section. The most profitable segment is the extended stay segment. Okay, let me admit this person. Now here, let's take a look at Boston. Let's get right into it. So this is, I pulled this out from the city of Boston. I was going through their ordinance, but I didn't have to go far. I didn't have to go far at all. I usually go right into the ordinance and start picking apart the definition of what an extended stay is. But here it is right here. It says that these short-term rentals in Boston, this is how you guys define it, are stays of 30 or 28 consecutive days, okay? No, actually 27, because it says if it's 28 consecutive days or longer, then it is not considered a short-term rental. All those laws, all those rules, all those ordinances do not apply if you go 28 days or longer, okay? So it's a whole different world, 28 days and longer, okay? So that's what we're gonna be talking about. That's the opportunity, that's the secret nugget of that has low competition and high profits. Let's dig into that. Because here's the solution. There's some specialized training just for Boston. All right, we're going to talk about just your area so that you can make 3 times the net income and get to economic freedom. So what's economic freedom? It's different than freedom. It's different than having your own business and being a busy CEO type. I'm talking about economic freedom. That's the next step, which is owning the business and being outside of it, making realistically 2 or 3 decisions a week. That's economic freedom, okay? That's what we're gonna talk about, how to scale past Airbnb, past corporate housing, into a business that leads you to economic freedom. That's what we're talking about. So how to get started? 3 things you can do, because I'm sharing secrets with you. I got 3 keys to kind of unlock this for you, so you can do this quickly, all right? The first thing is to think about what corporate housing is about. Why is it different than Airbnb hosting and super hosting and all that? What's different about it? Why is that important? And also, how do you instantly know that this works? Otherwise, you're going to end up researching, oh, I got to look at this, I got to check some numbers, I got to Google this, I got to Google that. But I'm going to give you a way so that you will instantly know that you can take action. That's the second thing, because you got to be confident. You don't want to try this and embarrass yourself, right? We don't need that. No one needs that. And then the third thing is, how do you keep the place occupied? Once you set up, once you buy that 60-inch TCL TV and the Keurig and all the cute stuff, how do you keep the place filled? Otherwise, you're not going to be making any money. So let's get into that. Here's the first step. Let me take a swig here. This is just water, Walter. Just water, man. All right. This corporate housing, let's tell you about my story with it. Back in 1995, I was just out of graduate school, a civil engineer working for this prestigious company. I was a project manager, and there was a spill, an oil spill in Texas, Port Arthur. So they sent me down there to help out with that, oversee that construction, that cleanup process. And I was, my first time to Port Arthur, Texas, it's a refinery town. I could barely breathe. There's this constant smell of oil, and I was not used to it, and I didn't like it at all. So I was doing my thing. I was a young guy, and I was staying at this Holiday Inn Express. It was about a 6-month gig that I was on, and before I could go back home. So it was cool. The first week at this Holiday Inn Express, I could get away from the smell a little bit, but I couldn't open the windows because the whole smell would come back in. But the second week I was about to go crazy. I was like, I seen that piece of toast in the breakfast lineup over and over again. I want to cook for myself. I don't want a maid coming in, moving my stuff around. I just need some space. And I was so happy when my HR department told me that someone had reached out to them and told them that there's some furnished rentals up the street. I'm like, oh my God, he heard my prayers. And the place was cheaper than the Holiday Inn Express. I was gonna be able to save some of my housing allowance that I had. So I was like, oh, cool. They gave me a menu. They said towel service, maid service. I was like, no maid service, just some pots and pans and fresh towels. And I just need that TV. That's all I need. So that's what I did. I moved into it. I was very, very grateful. I was making money, had access to my own laundry and everything. I was set. So that's my first experience. I was happy. I didn't think about it for years, but there was a whole business going on behind the scenes. Let's talk about that. So me, a construction worker, I'm extremely happy. That's all I need. I'm happily pay. Okay. But behind there, the business behind there, what's going on? There was somebody, some housing entrepreneur that made a deal and reached out to my HR department. Okay. And he made a deal between that apartment complex and furnishing it, because he knew I didn't give a rip about pictures or anything on the wall. I just needed my own spot. So they furnished it for me very lightly. And that's what they did. That's the person who made money. That's the golden goose. That's who I'm going to talk to you guys about. All right. That guy did not own that complex. That guy picked up the phone and made a phone call and made me a very happy person. He made the owner of that property happy to have a good quality tenant there, is respectful, and they made a lot of money themselves for solving that problem. That's who we're going to talk about today. So here's the gig. This is what it's all about. Now, you may own a rental. Cool. You can definitely do this. Do this. If you don't own a rental, cool. You can do this. It's even easier. All right. It's even easier for those of you who don't own rentals. This is your avenue in. So you furnish it lightly, smartly, not what you want, what your tenant wants, what your client wants. Okay. They want a completely different thing than what you want. All right. And then you go market it. You market it online. You do that. Everyone knows how to do that. You go to Airbnb and all those other places. You market it offline. Oh my God, people don't want to talk offline. Don't want to pick up the phone and leaving all that business out for me. Thank you. And you need to use social media. Oh my God, I don't want to do social media. Thank you. I'll keep all the business for myself. Okay. So you need to do online, offline, social media. And I have some tools to help you do that. And what you can do is you're going to attract someone who's going to be so grateful that you did that, so they can escape. You're breaking them out of jail, and they can stay with you. They'll happily give you their housing allowance. Okay. Now, here's the key. I don't want to get off on a tangent. Giving someone your housing allowance is a lot different than reaching in your pocket and giving them your money. Okay. There's a whole different mental relationship when you're spending someone else's money versus your money. Okay. Your employer's money and your money, you have a completely different, more laid back attitude when you're spending someone else's money. And then the goal is to take their money, not your money, and pay the bills, all the utilities, Wi-Fi, things associated with that unit, or your unit, your furnished rental. And ideally, half the money goes to that bills and half the money goes right into your pocket for you to buy Happy Meals. You can buy things for your kids, buy cars, you can accomplish your financial goals. I spend some of it to my daughter who's in college. She needs things, and everything else. You got cash flow now that you can use to eat. All right, that is it. It's just same rental money lands into your bank account. Whether you own the property or not, it is still the same dollar bills that you have access to, and it will change your life. All right, here, let me do it again. Now, here's a dwelling, whether you own it or not. I own some, and I was waiting around for people to move out, but they never want to move out because I was taking care of them. My tenants and my rental properties did not want to move, and because I was fixed on had to own assets, I have to own assets. I ended up working a job 2 more years than I had to. Okay, let me break this down real quick. Hey, Marriott owns very few of their hotels. They rent those buildings, those mugs. The Trump organization owns very few of their buildings. They put their name on it and they rent it. Okay, everybody except for small landlords are renting other people's structures and going and making money and accomplishing their financial goals. So do not think it's below you to rent someone else's property and make money off of it. It liberates you, allows you to do it right now, allows you to start making money within 30 days. As soon as you get that through your head. It took me 2 years and suffering and a lot of memories lost with my family just to get that through to my head. Okay, then you furnish it smartly. Don't go overboard. People, you want to be able to break even quickly. People forget about that and they get all into the HDTV stuff and they end up in a hole for 2 years. And then you market it online, offline, and social media like a real company. And then you attract someone who's going to be grateful. Thank you, kissing your feet to stay there because they really are grateful. No joke. Use their money to pay the bills, and then you get the leftovers, which is quite a bit. Okay, and we'll go into some specifics later on. So hang with me. I just want to open your mind for that. And also, I want to challenge some people who think that they have to own everything. Yes, you do want to own things. In fact, we make money off of other people's properties and we go buy real estate with it. Okay. So we do it all. You have a carpenter tool bag and an electrician's tool bag. You own some and you arbitrage some. All right. You do it both. So why does this work is because you get it, the landlords can be happy once you tell them what you're doing, explain what you're doing. The traveler is ecstatic. They're so appreciative to you. That's why they're going to say yes. The landlords are going to say yes, and everyone makes money. And when everyone makes money, you're dealing with a triple win capitalism that's so sustainable. It feels great. Nobody loses. All right. And now you can make as much money as you want by just stacking these things together. You guys, as long as it costs more to stay at a hotel than it does to stay at a rental, as long as there's imbalance, you guys are financially free. Congratulations, guys. You guys should be celebrating. This is the end of being broke now. Now, and you know this, you are set. Let's get into the second secret, because this is the next thing. Because you're like, well, that's great, Al, but how do I know it works? It might work. That might be a West Coast thing. You know, this is East Coast thing. How do I know it works? All right, let's talk about that. How do I know that you can have enough that you can leave your job? Or if that's what you want. If you want to leave that 9 to 5, I'm gonna give you a plan tonight. So stick around. How do you know the juice is worth the squeeze? All right, this is how you know. I'm gonna give it to you this way because you guys have all seen this. You've all seen Mickey D's, right? Sarah, you've ever rolled up through a Mickey D's? You get a Shamrock Shake, girl? All right. So you see Mickey D's, they do their market research, about $100,000 worth of marketing research before they go and build their burger shop. All right. They've been doing this for years. They do it right. They have the expertise. You could never get the expertise that McDonald's has on locating property. Okay. Then they build their shop. They put the grand opening sign, they hang it. And then what? Parking lot's packed. Everyone's through the drive-through. Sarah's up front through the drive-through, making this long order, taking a long time to make up her mind. Right. So that's what happens. And it's a huge parking lot success. Everyone knows that's a success. And guess who's watching that? Yeah, Burger King is all laying back and looking at that and say, yeah, they did it right again. Why don't we just set up across the street? All right, that's very little risk at all. They just look at the parking lot and then like, yep, okay, it's safe for us to go. Let's do that. Now that's a smart way of, is that smart to do that? Not taking the risk, not paying the market research, not putting out the effort. Is that smart to do that to make the cash flow? I think so. That's why you guys look at what's going on. You guys are surrounded by these extended stay mugs all up and down your area. I showed them to you. You drive past them almost every day, 3 or 4 times a day. All right. Go there 9 o'clock at night, Monday through Thursday. Check them out in the morning. You're going to say, doggone it. Why is Al sending me here? I can't park. I can't. There's nowhere to park. There's too many people here. All right. If you're complaining about a parking spot, which you will be saying you can't park, then that is all the research that you need. All right. What more? You could never spend enough time researching more than these guys who put in $12 to $22 million building this thing there because they know it works. Just take that and say thank you and set up across the street, just like Burger King. It's a smart thing to do because they're the corporate giants, and this is how you fight a giant. This is why someone's going to take me out one day because they don't want me sharing this with you guys. All right. But corporate giants like Goliath, he was trained to be a fighter. He's this big Shaquille O'Neal type of giant guy who's trained to fight since he was a kid. Now he's a grown man. He's in battle. And then there's the story of David, who's just a little shepherd boy, never been in a fist fight. All right. And they go to battle, and that little boy was successful. One reason was he fought on his own terms. He didn't go fight. He didn't go sword to sword with the dude. He fought off in a distance where it's safe. He used his advantage to fight the giant. And that's how you fight a giant. You use your advantage. All right. Now, here's what I'm saying. This is the inside of Extended Stay America. It's just really plain. All right. 2-burner stove, microwave, fridge. They think they're doing something. These things stay filled with essential workers. All right. Just as plain as can be. You guys can set up, you don't have to set up near the freeway by the IHOP. You can set up near your favorite coffee shop. You got the residential setting, you got the street knowledge, and then you can stick a washer and dryer inside the unit. I'm going to show you how to do that. And you can charge less for a lot more. That's why you're going to win. And let me, Kelly, while you're here, if I offered you a unit and you're going to be there for 3 months, a unit and it has a washer and dryer in it versus one of these extended stay hotels where you have to go down to the first floor or to the dungeon to do your laundry, which one are you going to pick? And my unit's cheaper. Which one are you going to pick?
I'm going to pick yours.
There's no contest, right?
No contest.
Okay, that's why you guys are going to win every time. Every time. These hotels cannot stand a chance. Look at them. They're just watered down apartments themselves. They're watered down kindergarten apartments. And we can beat them. Okay, so that's the second insight, is that everything has been done for you. All the research has been done for you. These extended stay hotels, those different brands are going after different people, some high end, some low end. All right. And then they know what people want, and they know how much people will want to pay. They even post it on the internet so you can do the math easy. All right. So all you have to do is copy them and add your own flavor to it, and you can beat them every day. Now, here's the problem. Is when kindergarten, first grade, and second grade, teachers saying, keep your eyes on your paper. Don't copy him. Do original work. Stop copying. Stop copying. Now, that hurt us in some sense because we're not in school anymore. The smartest thing you can do is copy. When it comes to cash flow, copy success. Copy people who are making money. That's the smartest thing you can do. You got to shake that don't copy thing out of it, because these essential workers have to stay somewhere. especially during COVID, they were packing out extended stay hotels so they can cook for themselves and other reasons. They need their own space when you're there that long. Now here's the cost. I'm going to give, this is the cost of admission. I'm not giving anyone's money back, but this is a secret here. So anybody can take a little bit of Home Depot ABS piping and attach it to the outside of a wall, all right? Add this air admittance valve here in this plumbing, so that makes the water drain quickly. Okay, there's no suction, no bubbles with that. And then you put a portable washer and dryer in the unit. These things cost together, both together as a pack, $700. And this dryer does not take a 240. This regular outlet will power it. All right. So we can easily put a washer and dryer in any unit at all, and we can blow the socks off of any extended stay hotel. And you guys have a ton of extended stay hotels. All you need to do is take a few of their clients away from them and you're set. All right. Make sure you invite me to your retirement parties. I want invitations to that. So here's what I've done. In my units, if unfurnished, I could, in Sacramento, it's about the same as you guys, $1,100 for a 1 bed, 1 bath. All right. Then I change it into a corporate housing unit. I put these washer and dryers, a little bit of furniture that's nice, comfortable bed. And I can charge, I ended up with $1,000. I increased my cash flow by $1,000. I did not come up with a down payment. I didn't go talk to a realtor. I don't have to pay extra taxes, no extra insurance. No one's in my business at all. It's just a cool extra $1,000 for making the decision to switch how I operate it. All right. So that's some good news. That's 100% increase off of making a decision and not a down payment. And all you guys can do it as well. Whether you own the property, which is cool, you go do it, or you can take someone else's property and say, hey, let me hold this for you for a little bit. And then you go make money off of their property. All right. So that's good news. Oh man, that's really good. That's liberating news, because if you're stuck, like I was stuck, and someone's suffering because you're not making enough passive income. I'm bold enough to say that because that's the truth. Somebody in your life is suffering because you're not making more passive income, and you can. I'm not going to leave you there. I'm leaving you that you can. All right. And you can because you drive past 6 or 7 extended stay hotels every day. And people are dying to get out of there. All you have to do is make a decision to help them out. All right. Now, how do you market? How do you find these people? These essential workers, these travel nurses, these construction workers who are these IT professionals, okay? These people running political campaigns, all of them are staying at these extended stay hotels. There's people who are waiting for their new house to be built. They're in prison in these extended stay hotels. They're just begging. Everyone is praying to God that you guys will set up an extended stay hotel in a neighborhood that they can feel like they belong for a quick minute. I know, I sure did when I was traveling. Okay, so how do you market? How do you find these people? Well, before we get into that, you guys in Boston have some incredible rate swings in your hotel prices. All right, so that is important to know. It's very seasonal. These extended stay hotels go through the seasonal pricing in Boston. So that's no joke. You got to know what you're doing. When prices swing 67%, you got to think like a bear who kind of gets their calories during the good times. And if they choose, they can hibernate. Bears don't have to hibernate. If they choose strategically to hibernate, they can. That's how you're going to need to operate in Boston. You're going to need to make a ton of money in October and then keep marketing. But if it slows down, you already are planned for it. All right. You're still going to be making money. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that in just a second here. Okay, because marketing is the key. As long as there's cars in those parking lots, in those extended stay hotel, you should be filled. You should be filled. Each one of those things have maybe 3 floors, 2 floors. That means there's 200 rooms in each one of those things. And all you need is one person. Come on. We can market for that. We can outmarket people, right? So it really looks like this is a three-legged stool. Now, people, I argue with people all before 2020. I argued with them about that. I'm like, this is my technique, 3 legs. And they're like, no, you don't need that. I got Airbnb, I'm good. My online, I'm good. All right. You go do that, Al. Okay. So but you really need an offline tactics to get your word out, your message out. You need online tactics and you need social media, because I don't think any of us buy anything on Amazon without looking at the social proof, the reviews, right? I don't know anyone who does, because you need that on the internet. You need great pictures and social proof. That's what you need to make money. Otherwise, how are people going to send you $2,000 to $5,000 without meeting you, without seeing the place, unless you have social proof? That's why you need social media. That's the key of not relying on Airbnb, using them, but not relying on them, okay? Because a lot of people did, and then stressful time comes, and they had a one-legged stool, and they toppled. They ended up selling their stuff on the sidewalk. And Facebook Marketplace was filled with Airbnb hosts who were real proud of their superhost status, but didn't know how to market on their own. So that was a sad thing. But so you need all 3 legs. You got to work them all. You got to have a strategy, and I'm going to share that with you on how to do that. Because this is it. This is my strategy. People always ask me, Al, what website should I be on? What website are you on? What other website should I be on? And I'm like, the things are going to change. You can still be sending messages on MySpace. You can still be on eBay. Everything changes. You got to stay. You need the strategy. Here's the strategy. All right, I'm going to share it with you guys right now. This is the marketing engine, regardless of what comes and goes. And as Google gets into the vacation rental game, they're about to break into the vacation rental game, and everything's going to change. But this strategy will still be the same. Is that you got to focus on getting found. You need digital assets out there. You need to be listed on Google. You need a website of your own, right? And then you're going to attract people, and then they're going to talk to you somehow, email messages, text message, something, and you got to know what to say to them to convert them. Okay, that's a whole sales process of finding out what their needs are and recommending something so that they win. That's the whole thing. And then once they win and once you delight them, there's a whole process of getting someone from satisfied to delight, and it involves surprising them. Okay, once you got surprise to delight, that's a whole hour for me to talk to you about. Surprise to delight, and they're ecstatic. They're happy that you gave them some little gift, some gift card or something, or gave them a recommendation. And then when they're excited, then you ask for a strategic review. You're like, hey, would you do me a favor? Would you go to Yelp and leave a review there? Would you go to my Facebook business page and leave a quick review? Would you go onto Google and go to my Google listing and leave a quick review? And they're like, absolutely. And they do it. And that process helps you rank on the first page of Google, and you get found. And then you can convert people more, and then you get more strategic reviews, and then it's easier to get found. And then you are completely independent of Airbnb. Okay. You can use them, but you're not reliant on them, because it's the saying that you can give someone a fish and you feed them for a day. And Airbnb is brilliant. They're geniuses at doing that. They make it so easy for you, and that you get a false sense of a reality. Hotels don't rely on Airbnb to get their message out. When you move into this for economic freedom, you need multiple things to do. So you can teach someone to fish and feed them for a lifetime. And that's what I do. I don't make any apologies about it. I want people's resignation letters. I want people to get free, to replace their income, and to go on to give their gift, what they were made for, what they're created for. I want to see people do that and not worry about the money part, because there's plenty of money just helping people get out of those extended stay hotels. There's plenty of money there. All right. Now here's Alicia. She was in Richmond. We met. I was on stage talking, and afterwards she rushed up to me and said, Al, I got to do this. I got to start because I just got married and we want to focus on our family. I want to have time to spend with my little girl. So I said, cool. she said, we flip houses now. And I'm like, cool. All right. I usually give people 30 days to get their first one going, but I'm giving you 15. You go. And she's like, oh, I said, yeah, you got 15 days. I'm gonna be watching you. Go get it. And she did. She did it in 14 days. And then she wrote me this. She says, Al, God, thank you, thank you, thank you. She said, for pushing me out of my comfort zone, because that's where I really needed to be, and answer my questions. And she said she had 4 of these things now. And there she is. She left her screenshot. She's making over $2 grand per month. And she followed this 6-step system I'm going to share with you in a second. And I share this one testimonial so I can show you my favorite little girl. This is a little girl, first year birthday. I didn't have anything to do with the conception, but I'm happy that I had some impact on giving her time for all those memories, and I can see her grow up on Facebook. So that's incredible thing. It's very rewarding to be a part of that. So that's the third insight, is that you can get ahead. You can get ahead of your bills. You don't have to wait for something good to happen to you. All right. You guys are surrounded everywhere you look. There's an extended stay hotel around you. All you have to do is help people get out of those things. All right. And help a burnt out landlord or yourself as a landlord make more money and have a nicer looking asset. That's all you have to do is make that decision. So when you're a skillful marketer, I can help you with that. You'll never be broke again. And you'll have all the cash flow that you need. You can get this hotel-sized cash flow. That's all you need. It's right there for you. It's all around you. Now, you can do a lot more than just $2,000. This is an experiment that we did for Easy Corporate Housing. That's one reason we started Easy Corporate Housing, was to document this whole thing. So it's a reinvestment model. So let's say Darren was at work. He didn't like his job. They were talking about him in the break room, but he just kept that job. But he started with this whole process of renting out someone else's place and furnishing it, right? And then the first month he makes $500 after expenses, and he puts that back in the bank. And then after that, he keeps putting money in the bank. And then month 4, he takes the money out of the bank and sets up another one. Now you can't do that by buying properties. You can do that by joint ventures, lease agreements, some other type of partnership. You can expand this fast. And then month 7, take all that money that was going back to the bank and set up a third one. And it keeps going like that. Your rentals are buying rentals for you now. That little bit of money you took to start with, for us, I put $5,000 in the bank. Imbert, my business partner, put $5,000 in the bank. We started Easy Corporate Housing, and we were up here to making $10,000 well before 23 months. All right. I don't recommend you go this fast. This is a Ferrari. and like my daughter learned how to drive, I would not give her a Ferrari to start with. Okay. I would start off slow. So you need a coach to help you with that. Please do not go and do this on your own. You need someone to you need a gas pedal and a brake. Okay. So you need reserve. So you need to do it. But we had a gas pedal and brake, and we did this, and we take this money and we send it into our commercial building. If you ever see me online, you see I'm rehabbing a full, my commercial building is the size of a block. And you see me going through and turning those into furnished rentals. So if you can retire off of $10,000 of net income per month, you don't have to work 30 years to retire. Okay. You're stacking these profit centers together. All right. And does it work? It works because there's extended stay hotels all left and right, up and down, directly across the street from each other, all around you guys. This is another unit I have. I have this for the difference between Airbnb and corporate housing furnished rentals. With Airbnb, generally, people want as many people in that mug as possible because they get paid per person. With extended stays, you don't want that at all. It's the exact opposite. We oftentimes do the exact opposite of what's the success principle on Airbnb. You see, I'm featuring a recliner, not a love seat, not a sofa, because I don't want a lot of people in here. This particular unit is a 2-bed, 1-bath. I want 2 co-workers that are not lovers, not related. They're on a business assignment that want their separate zones. Okay. So this is I created the ultimate 1-person theater right here. That's what this is about. And that's who I attract, coworkers who are being paid by their company to be there, who want privacy and want to pocket their housing limit. So I punched through one wall, put a washer and dryer. You got to buy those, right? They're easy to set up. They're easy to set up. You got to buy that. And then so it's two coworkers. Again, I went from rental market to hospitality market and increased my profits by 93% just by making that decision. No down payment, just a decision. No extra taxes, no extra property taxes or anything like that. Just cash flow. And here's the thing, I can sell this business. Businesses can be sold for 3 times their annual, right? So it's an asset. I can sell the whole business if I chose to. I put a barn door over it so I can slide it so you don't see it. Just want to show you that. All right. Yeah, I love this saying. It says the eagle doesn't see other eagles fly. Their chances of reaching their full potential are greatly diminished. So I congratulate you guys for being here together, other eagles. And if you are around people who talk to you about what you can't do, what you can't afford, you want to, they're not the eagles that you want to be around. So keep finding eagles, keep finding ways because it's out there. So it's the 3 secrets there. Corporate housing, think about that. It's been around for a long time. It's not a new business model. Nearly everybody, especially apartment complexes and professional managers, know what corporate housing is. And how do you instantly know? I think I have I hit that hard enough? The hotels are already around you guys, surrounding you guys. So we know that it works because they have watered down apartments. You guys can have the right thing. Even houses work too. And how do you keep them occupied? You get found, you convert them, you get strategic reviews. That's how you do it. Whatever tools you use, you know. So here's the roadblocks why people don't do it. They listen to me and they don't do a single thing. There's the why they do it, because they don't know how to set up a corporate housing company. That's the first step. And then they're overcome by self-limiting beliefs and excuses. And that's sad because I used to be me. And I still have to have people save me from myself. Okay. It can completely paralyze you guys. Absolutely. And because we all have a bunch of head trash and we have our parents' head trash in our head trash. So that's a big problem. And then the third roadblock why people never do anything and just stay broke or stay struggling for cash flow because they don't know how to work independently of Airbnb. And Airbnb likes to cut people off. They cancel accounts all the time, especially since they're public now. They're still a great business, but they do cut people off and people have to completely go out of business. And the fourth roadblock is that they can't find the funds and they're looking in their own pockets and they can't find the funds. And there's self-directed IRAs, there's other people with monies, there's all the money. That's the difference between the hospitality industry and the rental market that is waiting for them to access. And they're looking in their own pockets and saying, I can't go. That I think is the saddest thing. I hope none of you guys give me a chance to talk to you if you're there. And not having a personal mentor, that is huge. Suffering for years. And you know, one of the biggest regrets of the dying is that they were working too much and that they didn't try anything. And going down that same path because they didn't have a mentor that saved them 30 years and 20 years to help them live their life. That's the saddest thing. So those are the roadblocks. And here's a local example. I was studying your area and it looked like around Cambridge, I saw a whole bunch of one bed, one bath, 400, 500 square feet. I saw some even 700 square feet, but the basic ones, because all you need is a basic one, between $1,600, $1,800 a month, unfurnished with, okay. So I saw the typical, in the same area, the typical extended stay hotels, they publish their rates, okay. I just multiply them by 30. I see them charging $39.60 and $57.60 per month, all right. Does it happen? Well, they publish the rates, their extended stays, it happens. There's no, you guys can look this up. I'm not pulling these numbers out of my butt. These are not exaggerations. And if I'm being generous, I say, well, there's gonna be Wi-Fi, electrical, gas. Let's throw $550 per month of expenses, okay? That leaves you guys, if you try this, you make a cool $750 to $900, and I'm being conservative. Why am I being conservative? Because your prices fluctuate so much during the year. I wanted to make sure the number I put out here would be like the minimum engineering safe that I could stand behind and look you in the eye and say, yes, that is how much you should be making. And actually that's the low end of what you should be making per month. All right. With that, with 750, a couple of those help you guys? Would that cover a mortgage, cover a car payment? Yeah. Help a kid in college, cover some things just by making the decision to do that. Okay, so you can try all this on your own. You can try to do what's taking me years to figure out, or you can just skip the trial and error right now and just do what works. Just use my 6-step system. It's already been proven. It's called extended stays for landlords. And this is what's in it, is that overview of how to become that golden goose that puts the deal together, be the housing entrepreneur, how to position yourself like that. You don't need money to do that. You need courage. You need courage to do that. That's all you need. And then discovering your market's potential, okay? Because people coming to Boston, they're going to be either tourists or they're going to be travelers. And we've all heard the horror stories about tourists. They're great, but if anything goes sideways, it's dealing with the tourists. So we strategically don't even market to them. We pick out travelers who are serious-minded. They book better. They're there to get a promotion, not to party. Okay, they're working professionals. And then furnishing your place. This is critical that you don't overdo it. That you're not watching Martha Stewart and HGTV while you're furnishing your unit and how cute it is, because you're not furnishing it for you. You're furnishing it for your guests. Okay, so I give you a checklist that can serve as your priority, because there needs to be a priority in your spending. You don't go buy cute decorations first. You go buy a comfortable bed first. Okay, so prioritize. You can order everything off Amazon, or better yet, you use this checklist as a shopping guide and get things off Facebook Marketplace. Keep your startup costs down, please. Please keep your startup costs down. Figure out how soon you want to break even. If you want to break even in 7 months, well, that's your budget. You figure out how to furnish it. All right. You have a cap on your spending. I'm spending some time here because I travel around and speak at different places. I stay at Airbnbs. I talk to the host. I start calculating how they're doing, and I know that they spent 2 years worth of their profits in furnishing their places. And essentially, they're just simply paying themselves back. They're not making money. They're paying themselves back. So please use a budget when you're furnishing your place. All right. All right. The next one is marketing. Now, this is the key to everything, is how to do it. This helps you overcome the second roadblock, is how to market. This is my proprietary 3-legged system. I get a checklist for this. You can give it to someone else and I can coach them on marketing, but you want to build this up over time, okay, like a real business. You got to learn how to market, and I'm happy to help you. In fact, I have a virtual assistant company that does it all for you. So once you get to 5 units, we could talk about that. And that's how you get to economic freedom, is you let me market for you, because we do the social media, we do all that type of thing. And the 5th step is transition. If you are an existing Airbnb host and you're getting burnt out, which most do within 2 years, and you're tired of the churn and you want to switch over, we're going to show you exactly how to go after travel healthcare professionals, what they want, how to furnish it. It's important to furnish it the way they want. If you don't have blackout curtains and you're trying to go after a travel nurse, that little $30 tip there is the difference, night and day right there. How to price it for max margin, and that's really important. The 6th step is, once you know how to market and you know how to furnish a place, then rental arbitrage, then cash flow without ownership, okay? You could take that marketing engine and put it on someone else's rental and furnish it correctly, and then that money is yours. The difference between paying the landlord and what the hotel is charging is all yours, okay? So I give you the scripts on exactly what to say to them. In fact, sometimes I'm on the phone with you while you're talking to the owner, because some people need that. I give you that type of support. The worksheet, so you calculate it correctly and make it a systematic framework, because we want to replicate this so we can duplicate and stack cash flow together, okay? So that's the information. All that information by itself is a value of, let's see if I can get my screen here, of $3,500. That's the information pack alone to get you there. But we know that information by itself is never enough. You can never get enough information. You need more than that. You need a group of support, you know? So I set together, first bonus is a mastermind group, so we can coach you as a group, and also you can mix it up with other people that are doing the same thing. So that's the third thing. Eagles need to learn from other eagles, right? You can get on Bigger Pockets, and hey, I'm podcast number 8 on Bigger Pockets. I've been with them growing all the way up, okay? People give you their best advice, but it might be the wrong advice for extended stays. Oftentimes it's the exact opposite of what you want to hear. So you want to ask us, you want to ask me, you want to ask other people who are doing extended stays for advice. And support, you need support on your entrepreneurial journey. It's going to have good times and bad times. You need a support group to tell you to hang in there, what they're doing. And you also need to support other people that are doing it. And I give you daily updates about technology that I'm learning, different tactics. There's a whole change going on right now because employees have the upper hand. The whole industry is changing. I want to keep you up to date on that. The real value of that ongoing coaching, group coaching, is $1,995. Then the second bonus is you need answers to your questions right away. That's why I have email support so that we're connected, and either myself or someone on my team is going to give you quick answers while you're negotiating, and also your situation. That's really important. So that's a value of $1,997 ongoing email support. And then I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine getting going. You're not going to need much money. In fact, you don't need any money at all. I have a private money funding module. If you follow that, you don't need any money at all. There's people with dormant IRAs, self-directed IRAs, just waiting for good ideas. I'll teach you how to do that. And then you scale up to 5 of these, and then you let me take over your marketing. And then you can keep scaling if you choose. And then you're running a business now with just making a few decisions. And you can scale that all the way up to replace your income. That's it. And that could be happening within the next couple of years. So that's the way you could be living. Or the next couple of years, if you do nothing and you let this whole industry grow up from underneath, you know, I'm not sure where you'll be there. So that's why the third bonus is just one-on-one coaching, okay? So I give you, so the private money resources, the fourth thing, people can't figure out how to get the money, and it's all around them. And it's just a matter of looking outside of their own pockets, is right there. An hour consult with me. I'm gonna help you create a personalized action plan, and we're gonna step through it. Oftentimes you're gonna get me calling you out of the blue saying, why haven't you got anything done? You're gonna get me jamming you up about that. So we pace you along on that. And the value of that is for just the legal work alone is worth more than $2,500. But the legal work, all those modules, all the resources that people have needed, plus my time creating this action plan for you and tracking you, make sure that you're getting things done, is $2,500 value. I don't like to see people fail. I know a lot of people say, I shouldn't worry about it, but it bothers me. So let's stack it all together, a $3,500 value, a 6-step system. The first bonus is group coaching. You can see me on Facebook every day, and other people, you're gonna find out what they're doing. You can see their videos, you can see their pictures, and you're gonna review their listings. So it's a strong community. Email support, because you need lightning fast emails. Just today, a guy was signing a lease that had a clause in it that everyone he brought had to give out their social security number to the management company. So you need someone to tell you, no, that's a bad deal, don't do that. And third bonus is private one-on-one with me. I want to be your personal coach to help you make that transformation and help you tease out all the head trash. The whole value of that for this vehicle to get to financial freedom is $9,994. And remember, you got to put that in the frame of, we're trying to create something that puts out $10,000 a month. All right. So it's got to be worth at least 1 month of profit. All right. So we're stacking this thing together. So it's absolutely valued at that. Now, an investor should be asking, how quickly can I get my money back? 10 times, that's what investors are thinking. Not how much it is, but how fast can I get my money back and start making a profit off of it? That's what it is. And to reduce the risk on it, I'll give you a guarantee of 110% guarantee. And that says, if you don't make your entire investment back that you put to the enrollment 3 times, that I will refund your enrollment and give you 10% interest on your money, so that you cannot lose money doing this. You cannot lose money. You're going to at least make 10%, but you can do a lot better. You're going to do a lot better than that. That never happens because you guys are surrounded by extended stay hotels. All you do is follow this 5-week schedule and you're good. And you get 3 days to look over this whole program. And if you don't like it, just ask for a full refund, and that's what you get. All right. So the whole thing, all this together is a real value of $9,994, but I'm not charging you that. It's absolutely worth it. But I'm trying to get you unstuck. I want to do everything I can to move you forward, because housing people who are on extended stay work assignments is the key to creating passive income you need to reach your financial goals without burning yourself out and without working so much that your family doesn't know you and your kids hate your business. And that's terrible, right? And that's only attainable if you work the 6-step system to really know what you're doing. You have a coach that helps you through, and you have a support group. That's the things you need, okay? So we're taking it down to 1997. You see it on my website all the time. But I got special for you guys because you guys are East Coast, all right? I'm gonna tell you about that. But to pick this thing up, you go to now it's HTTP, no S, http://str2021.com. That's for special for you guys in Boston. That's how you pick it up. To get this, the map for your financial journey, the support that you need, and the resources that you need for this journey, okay? Now here's your special for you guys. I want to make sure you guys get this. I'm gonna let me take my screen up here. For tonight only, if you use Boston 20 as a coupon code for tonight, you get 20% off. Tomorrow, Boston 15, you get 15% off. On the 7th, Boston 5, you get 5% off. Now there's only 3 available for tonight, 5 available tomorrow. All right. I'm trying to do everything I can for you guys. I hope you understand, every time you pass the extended stay hotel, that means you should be free. You should have cash flow. You should not be broke. So you go to here it is, http://str2021.com. That's special for your Boston REIA. And then you go and you click on enroll in the course, and that's where you enter that discount code. Okay, Boston 20 for tonight, 20% off. Boston 15 for tomorrow if you wait around, and then Boston 5. Right, so there it is again. Now I put it all together for you as clean as I could, so you can do absolutely nothing in a year from now. I hope you're in a different financial situation. I hope life brings you something, or you can try to do all this on your own. You can go through all my YouTube videos. You can read all the books and make all the financial mistakes, and or you can just let me help you. Just let me help you get there, and really get there. I'm gonna stop my share. Let me take some questions, okay?
Okay, Al, I have some questions. I've also put the link, a hot link, into the chat. So let me just scroll through all these questions here right now. I got a large chat to go through here. So some people are saying they can't do less than 3 months rental, but I think that would be pretty common. If they can't do it with what they have now, just go out and get another property where you can do it in the community. That I'm sure that's probably what you would suggest.
That's absolutely there.
on that one. So let me just keep scrolling through here. Rental arbitrage is pretty much what you explained tonight. So is there any other tips you can provide maybe on acquiring these properties, with little money or no money down to put into Airbnb?
Well, absolutely. Well, first I want to point out that it's great to own rentals. Please do both. When I say rental arbitrage, I want you to own them and rent them. Okay, just like the Marriott does. Own them and rent them. So when you go to renting them, I have this coffee house screening process. If a coffee house is nearby, that means there's an area that people want to be in. So see if you can set up around a coffee shop.
Okay. Pauline's actually on the call, and she's a rental agent. And she says in Boston, they have access to a lot of vacant units. So there's money to be made, and these landlords need help because they said staying vacant is not fun. So I think, for people who want to do this, I don't think they'd have any difficulty with, frustrated landlords at all. Communities where I have real estate brokers cracking down on short-term rentals. That's fine. This is extended. Do you know the average length of stay? Because I've stayed in a few extended stays, and I see workmen, they're like linemen, they're electricians, and they're builders are coming in from other states. How long do they usually tend to stay? Have you seen that sort of market?
I have. It's all over the board. It's all, like, I was a resident engineer. I would stay 10 months. Where my iron workers would come in, set their iron. They could be there for a month and a half. It takes 2 months to tip up a target building. It's all over the board.
Okay.
For you guys, that's why I started with the ordinance. You go into a different universe at 28 days. That's everything works for you.
So this 28 day, I'm just bringing it up again because I think there's somebody in here that's scared of like, oh crap, after 30-day rental, how do I get around the tenant law? And how do I get them out if they don't pay?
That's it.
But these people predominantly pay in advance, though, from what my experience has been.
That's a great question. That's why I pair it with business travelers, where they have the company is paying for it. Okay, this is not like a vacation rental. This is a different thing. This is a company paying for it. That person's dog and family is somewhere else. They don't want to camp out. And companies often want to protect their reputation. There's a number, I've never had to do it, but you can light people up on Twitter. You can, the newscasters are always looking for a story. So there's a lot of pressure for a company to make sure that they pay you.
Yeah. Have you heard lately that Airbnb requires you to actually own the property before you can rent it out? I haven't heard that. Even so, I don't think that would stop me from, doing these types of deals because, if you're putting it into a company formation, people title their properties in all different ways. So I don't see how that would even be enforced or whatever. What's your experience with that?
That's not, I never heard of that. And
Neither
even
have
if
I.
it was, we could do just fine without Airbnb.
Exactly. I've actually seen sites like VRBO, Booking.com pulling in better results across the board and much wider net spread through the search engines using those sites too.
Absolutely. The best is skipping all of that and just having a conversation and going direct.
Yeah, which leads me to one of the other ones. Who said this here? Longer stays. Pauline again mentioned traveling nurses. They usually stay for 3, 6, or 9 months up front, which I think is a great niche.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Sacramento happens to be the #5 most designated place for travel nurses, so I know it well.
Okay. Somebody wants to know where you get that, I guess, dryer for $700 or washer dryer. They just
Oh.
see them for 12 or
Use-
1300. I think if
use
you go
your-
to the Home Depot, when you're a member of Home Depot and you get your appliance discounts, your recash rebates, you're going to get pricing like that. And they don't have to be top of line washers and dryers either, do they, Al? I mean,
Well, let me start from the top. If you want to pay top retail, the whole thing's 700. You
Mhm.
apply your Boston REIA discount, it's even cheaper. And you can raise your rents by at least $100. It pays for itself in just a few months.
Yeah.
It's a complete asset. And they're all over it. It's not hard to find at all.
Yeah.
If you look on Amazon, you see thousands and maybe 5,000-6,000 reviews of 5-star reviews on these things. So I feel like everyone knew about it except for me. So I'm trying to share the word. It's a complete game changer, being able to plug into a regular outlet.
Yeah, that's huge.
And do it.
I think I from a perspective I know people are nervous to get started, so they try and keep their rates, just underneath everybody else. And I can understand their thinking along that line, but I think, they can't be scared to go above what some of these other places charge, because again, you're providing more amenities, you're providing more privacy. How's your feeling on that? Where would you start them out? Would you start them out below or, above,
Yeah.
mid-range?
I call it getting into the envelope, and that's the game, kind of like you get the ball into the hoop. There's this envelope between the low-end extended stay hotel and the high-end extended stay hotels. That's that range, okay? So you start off, because you don't have any reviews, you don't have any social proof and things like that. And you can start off 10% below the low end. And as you get reviews, you get into the envelope. That's your whole goal. Now, remember, I'm talking about hotels, professional hotels. I'm not talking about the freshman team, which was a lot of the Airbnb has no training whatsoever, no hospitality training, no certificates, no nothing. They are the freshman team. So there's no reason to anchor yourself on that when you have the varsity team of the professionals who know what the market can bear. So you know what the low end is, you know what the high end, start a little bit below, work yourself up and focus on the professionals.
Awesome. Janice just made a comment, 28 or 30 days is short-term, 28 or 30 is normal month to month. So law cannot require owner occupancy. There you go. So thank you, Janice. Okay. I think that's about it. I'm going to put the message in, the link with the code in the chat so you can click on it so you don't have any chance of spelling it into your browser incorrectly. So again, there's 3 for tonight with 20% off. That's a great deal, considering you're getting the, I'll call it the franchise pack plus the personal coaching.
Let me make one more. Let me make one more offer, because I know someone's here struggling, and I know what it's like to be feel like you're stuck, because I was stuck just because I didn't want to leave my job because I didn't want to disappoint my parents, because I was like the first to college. There's all kinds of head trash. So let me put this out here, okay? You guys follow with me. If you buy tonight, first condition, you get 20% off, and you go through the program and get your first one up in 45 days. It only takes you 30. You guys got those conditions? Buy tonight to get 20% off, get your first one up in 45 days. I will refund your entire enrollment in exchange for you go do a video walkthrough and we interview. I do a video interview for you.
Awesome. I think that's a super deal. Because, I think speakers, they're only as good as their last student's deal. So, you have to stay fresh, and the more testimonials that come in, the more your business succeeds too. So Al, I want to thank you on that. That's something we didn't discuss, but I'm quite happy to go along with that and honor it. So again, the link is in the chat, guys, or you can type it in from what you saw on the screen. If you have any more questions, let's hit them now before Al goes away. And then, as promised, Al had some giveaways. If you waited to the end of the call, I have uploaded the PDF file where you will find the product and the giveaway for you to download. So, ladies, gentlemen, and anything else? Anybody else? I see pronouns, prenouns, whatever
Yes.
on here. I'm like, hey, every person, body thing. Is there any more questions that you'd like to ask? Please put them in the chat, unless you want to be bold and I can unmute you. Okay, well, Al, I have recorded this, so I am going to post it as soon as I get it edited. I want to thank everyone tonight for attending. I think you should have learned a lot. Extended stays is a great method. You don't have to deal with the ones and twosies. And there is tons of business in this arena, as proven by real data that Al's gone into the market and dug up. You know, take advantage of the product, take advantage of Al being here with the discount, the free information for you that he's given away at the end of this call. Take advantage of our membership. Guys, the membership is going to be invaluable. It's already invaluable. It's going to be more so when we go live, getting that free access to the door, discounted weekend trainings. You get into our 52-week to $1 million program. So we have a lot going on at Boston REIA. Thank you very much for attending. If it's your first time, if you're a return person, you know, thank you very much for supporting us. And guys, have a great evening. Thank you, Al. Thanks. And we'll be chatting soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.